Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Going to adjust this a little bit. Facebook has changed the way they do lives, and sometimes it's just this teeny tiny thumbnail, and I have no idea where I am in the camera. All right, welcome to day 229 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Today we are talking about love and, of course, emotional health and well-being. So let me grab my little notes on this, because where do you start? I think we always need to start, and I think we've heard most of our lives, you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. And I think I have found via personal experience and the experience of others close to me that this is absolutely positively true. Whether we believe it or not, it is true for each and every one of us. How we express love and how we love ourselves is how we love other people and how we want to be loved, right? Tomorrow we're going to talk about a topic that I don't think very many people talk about because it is around the subject of love, right? And how we express love. Today, let's think about what are the benefits of loving ourselves? What are the benefits of loving other people? And then where do these things interact? And I think for a challenge today, we're going to ask ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10, how much self-love am I showing myself? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not very much, not hardly at all, 10 being I put myself first. I put my needs first. I'm in alignment with who I am, what's important to me. And I always use that as a filter for how I show up in the world. I treat other people the way I want to be treated, etc. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you show love? And not how do you show love, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how loving are you toward other human beings, right? Other human beings, and you can say whatever is applicable to you as a human. I mean, some people actually care more about animals than they do other human beings. So they might do a human being rating and an animal or other life forms rating, right? It's totally up to you. Make each of the tools that I share your absolute own. So let's talk about some of the ways that loving ourselves benefits our emotional health and well-being. Number 1, it reduces our negative emotions. If we love ourselves, we cut ourselves some slack, and when we do something or say something that is a little off for us or a little less than ideal toward ourselves or other people, we don't beat ourselves up. We learn from it. And by choosing better emotions like we learned yesterday with flip switching, we show up in the world with a higher positive energy, which makes the world a better place. It helps us to increase our resilience. Because guess what? Stuff is going to happen to us, good and bad, all the time, every single day of our life. And we need to know that no matter what happens, we got this. We got ourselves. We got our back. We're going to figure it out. Third, it enhances our self-esteem. People who love themselves have higher self-esteem. People who are bullies and harm other people or put other people down or judge other people don't have very high self-esteem. I have this discussion with my youngest sister on a pretty regular basis because she thinks that some people are just entitled. I think that entitled people are people that have flaws in terms of their self-love. Because if you love yourself, you don't put other people down. If you love yourself, you don't judge other people harshly. If you don't even bother judging them because you let them be themselves. It helps us to be better decision makers. If we love ourselves and if we know what is important to us and we know our core values, decision making becomes really, really easy. Not always, but easier than if we don't know ourselves and love ourselves and put our needs and boundaries, etc., ahead, which leads to the next advantage of loving ourselves, and that is we set boundaries. We have strong boundaries. We know what is and isn't for us. We know where that line in the sand is in terms of above the line and below the line behavior that we would never even imagine participating in something that doesn't match our core values. How does loving other people enhance our emotional well-being and our emotional health? Well, first and foremost, it helps us to be more supportive and encouraging toward them, right? If you care about someone, you treat them like you want to be treated, right? And you show them and help them and coach them to be the best possible versions of themselves. It reduces stress in relationships and just stress overall for the other people, as well as us, by the way. What we put out into the world is what comes back to us. So if we help people to alleviate stress by loving them, that helps us to alleviate stress and anxiety and depression and all those negative emotions that we don't want to feel. It helps to increase happiness and gratitude. People that feel loved and cared about feel loved and cared about, which they will appreciate and be grateful for, and they'll be happier because of that. Look at children. Whenever you doubt any of these things with respect to love, look at children who have been loved and nurtured and cared for in positive ways. They're happier, they're grateful, they're kind, etc. It helps by improving physical health. If we love other people, they want to take better care of themselves. They do take better care of themselves. They love themselves more, and that is both physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally healthier. It also helps to lower loneliness and isolation. I lived on my own for a few years, and I've never in my lifetime thought of myself as lonely. I like my own personal time and space. I'm quite independent, and I love that. But I lived alone before I got divorced in my giant house because my kids are grown. And only a couple of times I thought, am I alone or am I lonely? Because I lived out in the country, legally blind, so I couldn't really drive. So we ask ourselves those questions, right? If we're at all self-aware, we ask ourselves that. And I always said, no, I'm not lonely. I'm just alone. And being alone and choosing to be alone is different than feeling lonely. It takes a lot. It's like depression or other negative emotions that I don't want to experience on a regular basis. Loneliness to me is one of those. And so I think there's a huge difference. It's like sacrifice. We don't sacrifice if we're making choices that are for us. We're not sacrificing all of the things that we didn't choose, right? It always bothered me when people make that comparison. They do it with opportunity costs. Well, if I do this opportunity, that means I'm saying no to every other possible opportunity out on the planet. And that's the cost of doing that. That's a ridiculous way of looking at things. It comes from a scarcity mentality, not an abundance mentality. Because the truth is, there are always going to be infinite possibilities and opportunities for each and every one of us. We just have to open up our eyes and our hearts and see them. So what are some of the ways that loving ourselves and loving other people positively interact for each and every one of us? It fosters compassion for other people. If we love ourselves and we love other people, we treat them better. We treat them like we want to be treated. My test of if my behavior is in alignment with who I really am or not is, would I want to be treated this way? Would I want somebody to talk to me or behave toward me the way I am behaving toward them? And if the answer is ever questionable even, then no, I don't say it. I don't do it. I don't think it. I don't behave that way. It creates cycles of positivity. And one of the most powerful things we can put into the world is more positivity, more love, more high vibrational energy, because that's how we make the world a better place. Each and every one of us can do that every day, no matter who we are, no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing. We all can impact the planet and the world by doing that, by putting more love and light and positivity into the world and higher vibrational energy. There is actually, I found when I was researching this yesterday, because whenever I'm doing a topic, I've talked about a lot of these topics, dozens or if not hundreds or thousands of times before. And self-love is one that's a little challenging because I haven't always been that loving toward myself. I have had bouts of time where I treated myself really rotten. It's why I worked on negative self-talk when we were talking about communication. But I found a self-love challenge. It's a 4-week challenge, and it's on something called Acenda, Acenda. It was super tiny on my phone. I did not read the details of each week, but it has little challenges for 4 weeks that you can do. So if self-love is something you want to improve, just Google or whatever search engine you use and search out, go to self-love, search for 5 minutes today and find the next thing that resonates or feels right to you and just explore that a little further. But if you're brave, share in the comments below your scale of 1 to 10, self-love, love of others, and any comments you have about this topic in terms of emotional health and well-being. Let's learn from one another. All right, if I can help you in any way, you know what to do. You just ask. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.